Morning everybody, how you doing? Better late than never. Sorry about the delay. We are 2 hours late this morning. Other commitments, unfortunately. Sorry about that. But we're going to continue with our Euro Capitals Award on New Sky. We are only, I think, 6% through it at the moment. We've only done 2 legs. We've gone from, where did we go? Heathrow to Eddie to Iceland, which is where we start today, as you can tell by the horrific default scenery, but that's look at those jetways. But we're heading over to Greenland. Hey Macabel, David's in and Philip's in YouTube as well. Everyone's here. Cool. We're heading over to Greenland to Nuuk, I think is how you pronounce that. So that's where we're going today. About 750 miles, so a little over 2 hours to run. We do have the scenery though for Nuuk. It was on sale for about £8 on the IndyBuild store, so I thought I'd pick that up today. As for Keflavik, well, yeah, you can pretty much. I mean, look, you can even see there's a plane as part of the satellite imagery over there. So I think it's fair to say this has seen better days, and there seems to be this red line going through the terminal. So I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, this scenery is not good. Luckily though, all we have to do is taxi from here down to there, and we never have to see this again. So it was either £15 or just put up with it for half an hour tops. So I figured I'd go the cheapskate route because I'm cheap. Right, let's jump in. See if we can get ourselves going to Greenland. Everything's off at the minute, so we'll start with batteries 1 and 2, external power. And we'll get our navs on 1, 2, 3. Emergency lights armed, no smoking armed. Crew supply on, put the nav and logo light on. Plane's coming to life, that's good. How are we all doing anyway? Sorry I was late today. I had a bit of a last minute thing that came up yesterday. I thought in my naivety, oh it's alright, I'll be able to sort it out in the evening. The evenings never go well for me. You wonder why I don't stream in the evenings. It just always finds a way to go wrong. It was a combination of last night, kids going to bed, then the online grocery delivery turned up, then it was like, oh god, I haven't walked the dog, then I have to go and walk the dog, then it's like 10 to 10 and I'm like, oh man, I haven't even started. Hence I stream in the daytime. I should stream in the evenings more. I mean, probably it'd be better for the channel if I did. Like, there are loads of people at home from work in like the UK and Europe, more able to watch perhaps. Yeah, I mean, numbers probably would be higher, to be honest, but it's just always such a faff. Always such a faff to get out here in the evening time. It just doesn't really work. I keep saying to myself, I need to be stricter with myself and more on it and more disciplined, but it's like, I try to be disciplined. Like, I'm disciplined now. I'm usually here every Tuesday, every Thursday. Just, man, the evening times are, with the family and everything else, it's like, rarely works. Rarely works. Thomas, nice to see you, and T.com Lee. Alrighty, let's get in here. ATSU menu, AOC, flight init, and we'll put in our flight data. Now, weirdly, SimBrief has been being a bit weird today. It wanted me on runway 10 and it wanted me to land on runway 22, both of which the real world isn't using. And in fact, Navigraph like threw up a big red warning being like, you've got a tailwind on runway 22. So we're going 04, and we're going to use runway 19, which is obviously the southerly runway, rather than sort of coming all the way over here to 10, then sort of whizzing along this way. So I've changed that as per SimBrief, but we head out to Sauria on the Sauria 2 Charlie arrival. Then it's ocean until we pick up the coast of Greenland, into Lodno, and over Greenland we go. And again, here, it would have wanted us to have kind of picked up, headed south, but we're not. We're going to end at Golf Hotel 22 Foxtrot, vector ourselves down to Nunba, in and around, and then we go up to runway 04. And the good thing about the new scenery that we have for Nook is that I think the Asobo default stuff has got it with the old style, because this is one big long runway here, but I think the Asobo stuff has got 2 short runways, one of which is designated as a taxiway. So we might have had trouble getting in if we didn't get the scenery. Normally for a small airport like this, I would kind of look at it and be like, you know what, do we really need expensive scenery for what is essentially a runway, 1, 2, 3 and a bit taxiways? Yes, okay, the terminal will look better, but do we really need it? Especially as me buying the scenery for today has probably wiped out any hope of profit for today's stream. Yeah, we'll see what goes on there. But I figured with the runway thing, probably should get it, and it was reasonably cheap at £8. I guess you could say the same for Bristol. Bristol's nice and simple, why bother with the scenery? But we're in and out of Bristol quite a lot, and I think Bristol does add quite a lot to it. So, yeah. There is a freeware I could have gotten, I believe. Damn it! I was the bloke behind you in Edinburgh last week and did the go around. Oh, that was funny. Yes, there'll be a video coming soon for that. That's funny. Maybe tonight even. I was recording at the time. Right, what am I doing? This. Init request. Right, flight number X-ray November Oscar. What are we? 65 Papa. Sound like Grumpy saying that. Cost index 60. What are we cruising at? Yeah, got a bit busy there on Unicom, didn't it, Mag? It's all good fun. How long does it take to fly from Iceland to Greenland? About 2 hours. 340. What am I doing? There we go. Further stream during the day because I can have you on in the background at work. So I'm listening to the radio. I listen to streams. Yeah, I don't think you're alone, David, in that, actually. I should go over to Copenhagen for the event sometime. That's the other thing. Not flying and streaming at night. I miss out on a lot of events. But what are you going to do? Buy the Keflavik from MK Studios. Yeah, I'm sure it's brilliant. It's just I don't often really come out here, to be honest. And I'm only doing it for the sake of this award. I don't know. I don't feel like I'll be here enough to kind of warrant it. Right, IR line. Mass and balance, load aircraft. Let's do fast time, 9 minutes. I'm feeling lazy today. It's funny, Max, because when I was recording the video, I could see you coming up behind me, and I could see all that lot in front that I was following. And I was like, I think we're going to be fine. Like we've got all those guys behind us. I think it was you and one other. We've got all the guys in front of us, and I'm right in the middle, and I'm totally safe. I'm immune from it all, and then it just all went wrong at the end. I think what it was, I thought you were going to go like around and above me, because I looked at my TCAS and there was like 5 miles between us, and I'm fairly certain it said you were 5,000 feet above me, which I thought, well, obviously that's going to be fine, but how wrong I was. Not for the first time. 1001. It's all good. Charts again. Okay, transition altitude 7,000. Initial climb clearance by ATC. Well, we don't have climb clearance, so I guess we'll go 340. Given that's our cruise and given there's no restriction, let's be lazy. Should I buy the Moser MCDU, an autopilot panel, or the Moser AB9? I didn't know Moser were doing an MCDU. Linus, I've got no plans after Nook. It's probably going to be all we have time for. Yeah, controller's a legend at Eddie. Runway 19. Sorry to Charlie. Insert that. We're going to plan for 04. ILS Zulu. And no star. Oh no, wait. Can we do a via? Yeah, we can. We're going to go via number. Morning, Elliot. Shall I buy the Windwing MCDU and autopilot panel or the Moser AB9? I really like the Moser AB9. And I've never used the Windwing stuff. I'm sure it's great, but I've never used it, so I can't really say yes or no, really, to you. I think it really depends on what it is you feel your needs are. I mean, I have this. I've got the Wingflex FCU Cube, which is very nice. Not full size, though. Obviously, some people get upset by that. I don't, but other people do. I get it. If you're building a full-size one-to-one cockpit, it's obviously not quite what you'd want. But for me, I mean, what you see here is all I have room for. So the smaller the stuff is, the better, really. I'm a little bit put out that this radio panel's so big because I really don't think it needs to be. It could be, you know, half the size of this over here, to be quite honest with you. Much like how nice and small that is. But, you know, we are where we are. Right, how are we doing with the loading? 11,000 kilos. It's quite a lot of fuel. It's not normally that high, is it? Is that because we got like a crazy alternate or something? Better. Turn my light down a bit, blowing everything out a bit. That's better. There's going to be a video on this coming soon as well. This pedestal I've built for my side stick. I feel like it's kind of good enough for now. Hey Norish. It's good enough for right now. I could keep going with it, but there comes a point where you need to put the tools down and start flying again, you know? How do you do it when you fly the A320 when you have the 737 flap enhancement for the flaps lever? Well, actually, it still works because the little notches for the 737 still line up with flaps 1, flaps 2, and flaps 3, and flaps 4. So you've just essentially got little notches in between 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it does still work. Yeah, the thing with the stick is I went to Infinity Simwings next door to Gatwick, and I was talking to Hanny, the owner, and I was saying that I was struggling because whenever I had my stick up here, I would flare and I would accidentally pull to the right at the same time. And he was like, yeah, it's positioning, it's all ergonomics, you've got it all wrong, basically. And then he said, yeah, obviously hop into his one that's like a 1-to-1 scale, and it's like, Yeah, okay, I get it now. So I kind of found some dimensions online and built this to try and match what he had there. I think it kind of works. Oh, don't worry, Craig. Honestly, it was a case of, we're going to be taxiing from here to there, and I didn't really want to spend 15 quid to taxi from here to there, and then we just won't see it for the rest of the stream. Because I'm cheap. Cheap and nasty, I am. Yeah, it'd be nice if we had a freeware for this one. Again, doesn't have to be crazy, just like, good taxiways, good gates, half decent looking terminal. Not default like this. And I'm happy to call it a day, really. Right, we are nearly loaded up. So I'm going to get the APU on the go, because then we can be gone in more of a timely manner. Oh, Craig, yeah, the defaults are horrific, don't they, when you go back to them? It's a weird one. It's a weird one. I never used to get it at all. Like, when I first started the channel, and I wasn't live streaming, and I wasn't flying on VATSIM, I would just basically put up little short videos of, me just landing planes. Quite often just the default A320. I wasn't really familiar with the fly-by-wire that much in the early days of the channel. Had no idea what PMDG was. Hadn't even heard of any builds. That's how kind of naive I was when I first started. And all the time people would comment being like, bro needs some scenery. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, just land on the runway. It's all good. And I just taxi to whatever gate I fancy through whatever taxiway I fancy. And I just do whatever I want. But it's kind of like going onto VATSIM, sort of doing more live streams, doing things more properly, in air quotes. I think that kind of pushed me over the edge. I still don't fully get the interior situations. I really don't. Like, if we were looking through this window here, I could understand modelling something behind this window. But, like, doing the check-in desks and, like, no. Anything that you can see through a window that's airside, fine, render it. Make a little coffee shop, make a little news stand or whatever, that's fine. But, like, I don't know. The rest of it can be a bit much, I think, sometimes. And it's weird because kind of like as a creator, you want to, like, if a brand does give you an airport to show off, you want to show off their hard work. Because I used to be a developer, and how hard it is. It's really hard to, like, make anything, and how much work goes into it. So I feel like this obligation to show off their hard work because they've worked damn hard on it. But at the same time, it's like, why? I still don't get it. Unless I'm going to become like one of these cinematic kind of YouTubers that makes these like super in-depth videos, like wandering through the terminal and all that sort of stuff. Oh, Thomas, thank you for 11 months. Has it been nearly a year, Thomas? Oh my god. Thank you, mate. I really do appreciate that. That's incredible. Thank you, Thomas. But yeah, I still don't fully get the whole interior craziness. Like, I don't know. On the one hand, it's like if you've been given an airport to show off and the devs worked really hard, it's kind of like it would almost be quite rude to like not show it. But at the same time, it's like still don't really get it. Yeah, I mean, Edinburgh still takes a hit though, doesn't it, Craig? That's the thing. Like, Edinburgh's probably one of the heaviest ones, I would say, in my sim. I mean, I was hoping that 2024 might go some way to leveling that out a little bit. I mean, I do like Eddie in that when you taxi up to the gates, you can see stuff. But I think that's all you should see. I don't think there should be any more stuff going on than that. As long as it all looks decent from a drone camera from up high on the other side, I wouldn't necessarily go doing all the other stuff. Don't know. Aircraft is loaded. We can go. I'll send that to the MCDU. Departure performance, we're going to use runway 19, not 10. Sync the weather. Oh wait, am I using live weather? No. My sim crashed out. Oh, yeah, there's the live weather. Flippin' heck, that's different. Flaps 2, 157, 161, 161. That's fine. Transition temp, flex temp, sorry, is 55. Send that to MCDU. Init page B has all gone across nicely. That's fine. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Performance 157, 161, 161. Flaps 2, 55. Happy days. There was a mod, Thomas, wasn't there, where there was cars in the sim? I remember that being a thing for a while. Like you could literally drive to the airport on, you know, those things that look like roads. Because they can look a bit iffy as well, can't they? Right, beacon light on. What's going on here at... It's just us. Literally no one wants to hang out of us. Forever alone. Devastated. So, nice simple taxi. Runway 19 along here. And we will get out of here. Nothing on...
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nothing even approaching being on final, is there? Hey, Coda. How do you do it with the A320 when you have... Oh, sorry, Avgate, yeah, I've answered that. Lila says, I despise airport interiors. All you need is just a glass panel insert. Give a bit of 3D space on the other side. Oh, you mean like the parallax stuff? Sav loves Nook. I've never been there. So it'll be a new one for me today. Looking forward to that. Just going to check through our flight plan. Bum, 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 bum. Discontinuity there. We'll vector around. And then we'll come in. Nice. So we got a big old drag after this one on the awards. Again, massive thanks to Grumpy for sorting all this out. I mean, look at all, look at all that. He's programmed all this in to make this award. So if you're a new Sky Pilot, yeah, remember to say thanks to Grumpy for this because he's worked bloody hard to sort this out. After this, we got to do Nook to is that Vagar, which is quite a fairly long drag, really, all the way to the Faroe Islands. I'm probably going to do that in the A319 just for stopping purposes when we get there. OG, how's it going? Yeah, we could well be cooked. Right, GSX, what are you doing? Continue pushback. Nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes, please.
What stand are we even on? Don't know what stand I'm even on. Keflavik traffic, air knot 65 Papa, stand 14, pushing back, facing east on November.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Not really, Craig. The only thing that tempts me is that I feel like maybe I should do it for the sake of rinsing some content out of it. And generally when I start thinking like that, that means I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. I'm not doing it for me. Unlucky, David. See you later. No idea, Linus. I have to take it up with Grumpy. Super Spud does some good freeware for Vagar. Oh, okay. Oh, have I got frame gen on? Just looking at the artifacts on the blades end of the engine.
Oxygen masks, life jackets, and the brace position, which you must adopt.
Go flaps 2.
Brace, brace. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. The cabin crew are now pointing out the exits nearest to you. Please be aware that your nearest usable exit may be behind you.
Where are we going? Brilliant. Let's
Fastened, adjusted, and
let's stop the pushback, shall we?
must be fastened whenever the seatbelt signs are on. And we
Incredible.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brake set. Thank you for ditching me in the grass. Yeah, auto brakes on max. Oh, this is a good start, isn't it? We can kiss goodbye to our new sky score already in the grass. Yeah, Craig, I feel like the Phoenix is so flipping good and it represents such good value. I feel that needs to be rewarded, therefore I don't feel the need to jump ship. And it feels too similar to something I already have to start investing all this money into it. Super Spuds EKVG is amazing, says Linus, yeah. Cool, 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 cool. Good gaming, cheers mate. Right. Are they going to go? Right, let's do a quick check. Didn't strap the passengers in. That's going to cost me. Good. Let's rock and roll. Well, Feared Gaming, GSX has already put us in the grass, so this could be a sign of things to come. Keflavik traffic. Keflavik traffic, Air Knot 65 per power, taxiing to runway 19 via November 4. Yeah, I'm not sure about the FS Labs, like the whole controversy behind it as well. Doesn't exactly put me in the mood to spend a lot of money on it. If I'm being completely honest. And again, we've got the Neos coming from Phoenix. We've also got the Phoenix update coming from Phoenix. I feel like Phoenix are really looking after us at the moment. That's not to say that like the actual product from FS Labs is bad. I've never used it. It could be great. I hear from others it is. I'm just not really in the mind to go dropping a ton of money on it, given what we have right before us. I feel like we're quite bad like that as a community. I feel like we've got a lot of blind spots as a community. Like if just something new comes out, we're all just like, oh God, I've got to buy the new thing. And you know, like little magpies, like new shiny, new shiny. And the real test is, I always look at like whenever something new comes out, and I feel this particularly as someone that makes content, it's like, I've got to get this thing to make content about the thing, because all anyone can think about right now is the thing. The real test is, in a month's time, does anyone care about the thing still? Like, we all care deeply about the PMDG 737. There was a big hype about that when it came out, but the hype lived on. So I kind of gauge things against that kind of thing, really. Otherwise, we're just going to constantly get our wallets rinsed every single time if we can't think critically about stuff as a community. Right, let's just double check no one's like randomly connected on short final, because you never know, sometimes people do that. Where's my browser? Here's my browser. Still nothing. I've got the whole of Iceland to myself. Love it. Right. Keflavik traffic Air 065 per power lining up runway 19 for a Soria 2 Charlie departure. Keflavik. Lights. Oh my god, I didn't even do my taxi lights. I'm all over the place today. I was not paying attention. Hold on. Okay. Let's get out there. Yo, gee, the Phoenix represents incredible value, doesn't it? For all three of them. Here we go. Keflavik traffic Air 065 power taking off runway 19 on a Soria 2 Charlie departure. Keflavik traffic. Everyone ready? We all good? Let's let those engines spool up then. Manflex 55 SRS green, auto thrust blue. Now it's going to be a bit windier from the side on this runway versus what we would have had on runway 10. So we will need to rudder ourselves a little bit. V1. Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. God, the scenery does look a bit iffy, doesn't it? Levers into climb. Flaps 1. Flaps away. Make our turn to the right. Hand flying as much of this as possible, because kind of like, what's the point if you're not, is my view. Keflavik traffic Air 065 per power departed runway 19, 3,000 feet on the Soria 2 Charlie departure. Keflavik. Oh, lovely weather this, isn't it? So weirdly, we're off the flight plan track, but our flight director is saying we're okay as we are. I guess it's got its own plan to vector us to Kilo Foxtrot 289. Come on, we've got to get a punch through in a minute. This is shocking weather. JT! Oh, JJT plays. Thank you for following on Twitch. Thanks, mate. Gillian, thank you for the follow. Okay, stand of pressure. Autopilot on. Hey, there's the punch. That's what we want. Lovely setup there, Doug. Cheers, Duck. Thanks, man. There'll be a video coming on this pedestal that I've devised on YouTube, so get subbed on YouTube if you're not already. It will be an idiot with power tools extravaganza, that I can promise you. That I can promise you. $10,000 feet coming up. So we'll disable the ground spoilers. Gear is already up. 10,000's on its way. Now we can rock and roll all the way to Greenland. We've got an important job to do in the cruise as well. I'm going to need your help. I've got an important decision to make. You guys can be my outside counsel. Oh, look at that wing wobble. Yes, Phoenix. Go for it. Wobble that wing. Cloud surfing, eh? Alright, let's open climate. Hey, Mr. A. Wasn't that a song? Goodbye, Mr. A. Okay. There is Soria, which kind of marks the end of our SID. And then it's fairly, you know, fairly straight routing all the way to Greenland, really. So, we've got some jobs to do on the way. Job number 1 is Wordle. Job number 2 is we need to... cheers, Andrew. Job number 2, I've just bought a Nintendo Switch 2. I say I bought a Nintendo Switch 2. There's a whole saga behind it. Mr. A150 is also followed on Twitch. Thank you, buddy. Oh, hello. What's going on here? Follower goal met. Shit, we got 1,000 subs. Mr. A. You're follower number 1,000. I feel like you need like a little certificate or something for that. Damn. Thanks, guys. 1,000 subs. Stuart, you're sub 1001. No one can ever take that away from you. Or maybe you want them to take that away from you. Maybe it's best not to mention it. Who knows? Mr. A, yay. Hey, Falcrum. Flight's going alright so... Well, I say the flight's going alright so far. GSX pushed us back into the grass, and I forgot the seatbelt light and the taxi light. So, potentially, we're going to get fined to oblivion from New Sky. But we'll see. What would happen if I flew and crashed my jet straight into you? On VATSIM, a supervisor would probably get involved and ban your account, to be honest, or put you on timeout or whatever. Ooh, taking the A320 type rating on Monday. Really looking forward to it. But I have to reiterate, I'm a 737 SFO. Is that Senior First Officer? I'm loving the logic and Airbus philosophy compared to Boeing's. Oh, you and Wasp are going to get along really well. Wasp, you might see in chat sometimes, is Mr. Airbus. Trust the bus, as he always says. Right, let's let the scumbags out of their seats. Need to get them spending at the bar. Will I have to fire myself from my own airline? I'll leave that up to the shareholders. I continue to be CEO at the pleasure of the shareholders. What I think we need to do, I think all you guys need to start streaming, and I can just sit and watch and drink coffees and chill and play my new Nintendo Switch 2. That's a plan. That's a plan right there. Bit of Mario Kart World. You guys can do all the flying, earn the VA all the money. I'll take all the credit, of course. Yeah. That's it. That's happening now. Mac 10 though, good luck with the type rating. I'm sure you'll do wonderfully at it. You know what, that causes me no end of trouble. That call out on landing. I'm not going to say it in case it causes me trouble. But yeah, that word that the Airbus likes to say, because if I do like a YouTube short, and obviously the plane calls it out, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, they kind of like auto-detect words that are in the video. And then they start like saying, oh, I'm violating their terms of service with like hate speech. It's like, no, it's the plane. I wasn't doing it. The plane did it. Like, it's an actual thing. Look it up. But of course, you're talking to a wall really at that point. Do you prefer A320 or 737 series, says Robert. Robert, I don't know. Like, as a simmer, I like variety. So, I kind of just enjoy them both, really. Like, if I had to fly A320 on the sim, like, if I was a real pilot, I would want to fully master one or the other. I wouldn't want to be hopping between the two. And I'm not sure that would be practical on a number of levels anyway. As you know, Mac 10 is saying, going from 7.3 to A320 type rating, it's probably a significant effort to do that. So, yeah, real world, I would say master one or the other. In the sim, though, it's like, I don't want to be pigeonholed to just one. Appreciate we've been flying the Airbus quite a lot lately because of this, my new A320 pedestal that I've built. Video coming soon, like and subscribe. And, yeah, I'm just kind of wanting to test it and try it and play with it and get used to it. I kind of feel like the A320 737 combo on the sim is really hard to break out of. Like, I almost called it a rut then. It's not a rut because a rut implies it's negative. It's not. We're so lucky to have a really good A320 from Phoenix and FS Labs if you count them. And we're really lucky to have a good 737 from PMDG and iFly. So we're super, super lucky. Oh my goodness, everyone's subscribing. Thank you, everyone. Sorry, I was sort of deep in thought then and I missed a lot of those. Thank you, Falcrum, anyway. You're the last one I saw. OG says, I've made a firm choice. I'm going with Airbus rather than Boeing. I mean, there is logic to that, isn't there? Because if you think about it, the default Airbus situation in the sim is quite strong. And it has been since 2020. And therefore, hardware vendors are probably going to target the A320 Airbus family prior to 737 stuff. Because really, you've got to go third party to get a decent Boeing experience, I would say. So, yeah, I think that could probably work. And look, I mean, you've got like Windwing, you've got Wingflex, you've got all these people that are making like the FCUs, the MCDUs, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's really affordable now compared to like you know, look at this thing here. FCU Cube from Wingflex. I forget what it is in pounds, but yeah, that would have been like so much money not all that long ago. You know? So much money. How's it going, Thomas? Jack, how are you? Yeah. Crazy amount of money. Whereas now you can pick these things up for like inside of 200 quid. And it's like, that would have been unbelievable amounts of money prior to that. Oh, Philip, thanks for gifting a sub. And who's got it? Who's got it? Elliot! Elliot, you lucky thing. Thank you, Philip. Smack10 saying, a few years ago I was given the opportunity to get my type rating for the Airbus from my company. Many times I'd mentioned that the 737 was an aircraft I had mastered. I'm glad I took the opportunity. Never took the original opportunity. Then 8 months ago I got a second opportunity. Without thought, I snapped it up. Nice. So will your 737 type rating remain in place, Smack10, or is that like, is that just going to like disappear if you don't put the hours in? I remember my father-in-law, he took his PPL, and he said obviously it was expensive getting it, and it was like 8,000 or 9,000 20 years ago. But he said actually the expensive thing was actually retaining a plane to fly in order to keep your hours up. Because if you don't keep your hours up, obviously you then lose access to your PPL, I think. Hence he ended up in like a timeshare kind of thing with it. It remains in place until I'm licensed for the aircraft. My company requires 250 hours. Then my 737 rating fades away. Okay, fine. You have to do a little bit of moonlighting in the 7.3. Sebi says, I just came across your channel for the first time. I don't know how you have so little subs. I deserve more. Cheers, Sebi. Although I am quite happy with the amount of subs we've got. I feel like we're in a good place. In fact, have we hit 25k today? Yes, we have. Last night we weren't there. We did it. Yay! Oh, I should have done like a special stream, shouldn't I? Like a 25k extravaganza. As someone who spent many hours, over 100 easily, in the stock Asobo 737 MAX, it's not even close to being a competitor to PMDG and iFly, and I severely doubt any dev would focus on them. Yeah, exactly. Cheers, Falky. 25k. Bloody hell. It's weird. It's weird, all this YouTube stuff. You can become a greedy asshole if you're not careful with all of this. Like, you've got to keep yourself in check. Like, I remember being so stoked when I got to 100 subs. That was wild. 100 people. 100. You imagine that? 100 people. A room full of 100 people. It's a lot of people. All of them exercising poor judgment to subscribe to my channel. But then it's like when you get to 100, you get to 200. It's like, god damn, 200, then 300. But then 300 doesn't feel quite as special anymore because it's like you're just sort of in the middle of the hundreds. It doesn't really mean anything. Which is dumb because every single sub is worth as much as the one before and the one after. And then we got to 500, and that's obviously like half of 1,000, so that kind of meant something. And we got extra features on YouTube. Once you get to 500 subs, we could have the community posts, which was cool. Then we got to 1,000, like 1,000. It was like, god damn, 1,000. 1,000 subs. There's definitely been peaks and troughs, though, throughout all of it. And I can just, you know, I think back to a sub number, and I can almost think like exactly what I was doing at that time with the channel and how I was feeling about it. 250 subs was a dark moment for me. I can tell you that much. I nearly quit. 250 subs. I was like, I can't get this number to move. Don't matter what I do. Really struggled with that. So I just basically kept doing the same thing, even though it wasn't working, and eventually it started working again. I don't know what I did differently, to be honest. About 2,200 subs was tough. That was tough. For whatever reason, again, interest seemed to dry up. New subs dried up. And keep in mind, we weren't monetized at this point at all. Like, the channel wasn't making any money. It was like an ambition to get monetized so that, you know, maybe it could pay for itself. I didn't know, like, how much we were going to make. I thought maybe, I don't know, it could be like £1.20 for all I know. Like, for all the views I get. I had no idea. So yeah. I remember when I got to like 2,200, I was like, at that point, I was like, I've got to get to 5. Got to get to 5. 5k was like the thing. Oh, Craig, thanks, mate. Welcome to economy. Enjoy the leg room and the lack of peanuts. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate that, mate. But yeah, 2,000 and something. Then your site's changed to 5,000, and then once you get to 5,000, your site's set to 10,000. And when you get to 10,000, you start to 20. Now I'm at 25. Guess where my mind is now? 50. Yeah, it's wild. And then when you get to 50, it's going to be 100. But then what about 55? What about 60? They're all just as valuable. So it's weird. It's really weird how the mind works with numbers and stuff like that. But I'm very, very grateful to everyone. Thank you for 25k. Doc! Doc's in. Watching from the Delta. Doc, are you actually in an actual A350? How are you getting internet on an A350 enough to watch a YouTube stream? I think Doc's basically taken out the entire Wi-Fi system on the plane just for himself. Everyone else is like, why isn't my Netflix loading? Doc's just over there chilling with a drink, watching YouTube. I didn't think it would work. I guess if you're over land, isn't it if you're over land, the plane's got antennas on its belly, so it can pick up, like, you know, 3G, 4G, you know, ground level services, but then when you go over the ocean it reverts to satellite, which is when it can get a bit iffy. Sydney to LAX, god damn, Doc. How far, where are you, Doc? How far are you? Can we find Doc? Doc, we're going to try and find you. Flight radar. We need to find Doc immediately. This is where Doc's like, no, I'm just making a video, I'm not on the real plane. Where's Doc? Let's see if we can find it without typing it in. DL. What airline's DL? Delta. Of course it is. He just said Delta. Sydney. So he's probably going to be heading up, right? No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no. Come on, Doc, where are you? No, no. I feel like this is almost like Where's Wally, but where's Doc? No offense, Doc. I'm not trying to call you a Wally or anything. Oh, it passed Hawaii. Okay, well that's a clue. That's Hawaii, isn't it? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. What was the flight number, Doc? DL40. Got DAL 440. No, that's not it. No. Feel like we've gone maybe too far now. Oh, there he is! There's Doc. Doc, we found you. Doc, you're further than I thought you were going to be. I thought you were going to be back here. So how long you got left to go? An hour and 18. Beautiful. I promise you I'm in the sky. I don't know, I think Doc's trolling us. So you're going to get a sunrise pretty soon, Doc, by the look of it. Oh, no, nice. Well, have a good trip, buddy. Bring us back something nice. Can't believe that's working, especially over the ocean like that. It's crazy. Offworld says it's cloud computing. Of course Offworld says that. Almost at top of climb. Oh, what's the jet lag going to be like going that way, Doc? It's normally pretty brutal, isn't it? Because you would have passed the... Have you passed the international date line? Where's the date line? That's, Oh, it gets confusing, doesn't it? It gets confusing. I don't know. I've never done Australia from the UK. Furthest I've been is San Francisco. It's the furthest way I've been from home. And I found it wasn't too bad going out. But coming back, good grief, that was awful. That was bad. I think the biggest problem is that we sort of left in the evening in American time, flew through the night, and then... Oh, I can't even remember. It like breaks my mind all this time zone stuff, but we landed at Heathrow at like 7 or 8 in the morning, and I just got off and I was like, I feel so tired. But then you've got to make it through a day, because you can't sleep through the day, otherwise you won't sleep at night, and it's all ruined. So I just had to like get through this day just feeling wrecked. I left at 9:25 a.m. and I arrive in LAX on 5:41 a.m. on the same day. Ugh. That's yeah, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Never been to LA. I've heard lots of different reports on LA from different people. I'd like to go and see it for myself. Vegas and San Fran is what we did. You should use the Quest 3 for immersive gameplay. I've got a Pimax Crystal Light for that. Very good. Really recommend it. Full disclosure, it's not mine. Pimax let me borrow it. Although every time I asked to give it back, they're just like, nah, it's alright, keep it a bit longer. So I don't know at what point they are going to want it back. Hopefully they forget. I'm not going to mention it. I'm going to scrub that from. I'll edit that. I'll get that in the edit. Don't worry. Classic thing with red-eye flights. Had the same thing flying New York to Berlin. Yeah. That's impressive though that you can get a YouTube stream. I mean, I'm streaming at what, 8,000 kilobits a second to YouTube. Now YouTube will transcode, so if Doc puts his quality to low on his phone or whatever he's watching on, YouTube will transcode on the fly, which is something Twitch doesn't do yet. In fact, Twitch, through their enhanced broadcasting with NVIDIA, they basically want me to transcode at all the different quality levels at my end, different like, you know, resolutions, qualities, and send them all over my internet connection to them, so they don't have to do it on their end, so they can save on compute costs. So, yeah, that's really impressive. I'm quite shocked. Do you know how they're doing it? Have they spoken about like what tech is powering it? Surely there's going to come a day when like Starlink or an equivalent technology just gets on all of the planes. And then this whole like... I feel like Wi-Fi and internet on planes is like this elusive thing. It's like, if you do get it, it's really expensive and it's not that good. But I feel like there's going to come a day where it's like, everyone can get it and it's really good. Supported by T-Mobile. Not sure what tech they're using. Oh, hang on. Didn't T-Mobile do a thing with Starlink. I could be wrong. I could be wrong saying that. Was it T-Mobile that did that? But part of me feels a little bit like protective over getting Wi-Fi on planes, because whenever I get on a plane, it's like no one can get hold of me, and I really like that. Particularly when I was, working as a developer, and my inbox was always like ding, 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 like constantly. There's always like, some client wanting this or wanting that, and I remember getting on a plane to America, and I was like, the next 10 hours are mine. No one can take those 10 hours from me unless I fall asleep. Like, there's no emails, there's no phone calls, there's no urgent text messages. Like, if the server goes down, screw it, it's going to have to wait. Someone else can deal with it. All that stuff. And I kind of feel like, I feel quite protective over that for some weird reason. Like, if I get on a plane, do not expect me to respond to you under any circumstances. Do I use model matching? Yeah, FSLTO. Offworld says, technically, someone using YouTube on an aircraft is watching it on the fly. Hey! I feel like I need to get like a little button I can press whenever Offworld makes one of his puns. Like confetti can go over the stream, get like a little klaxon going, that sort of thing. 3 goes for Wordle. Oh, go on then, let's do Wordle. Let's transition to the official Airnaut in-flight entertainment system. Wordle. Why is the map not working? Bloody hell. There you go, the map is now working. Right. 3 goes, says Philip. Oh my giddy aunt, what am I doing? I'm pressing buttons on OBS now and I don't mean to. Okay. Let's go with pouts. Let's get some vowels in nice and early. Oh. Okay. 3 goes. Try audio. Can't be audio. We've got a T as the 4th letter. So what vowels have we got left? An A and an I. Could end with a H, I suppose. I feel like as time goes on, I'm getting worse at Wordle. Alright, let's go with Philip's suggestion of Earth. I bet it's going to be the H. Oh no, it's an E! Blimey, I don't know. I don't know. E. Elite. Come on, it's got to be elite. Yes! Oh my god, I'm so good at Wordle. I knew my Halo days would come back to help me eventually. That's what we need to do. We need to play through Halo, the Master Chief Collection on stream on the in-flight entertainment system. That's what we need to do. Oh, good work, team. GG's. It's too bad there's not a way to capture the Nintendo Switch in handheld mode. If I could bring it out here, we could play Mario Kart. It'd be so good. I'm loving the Nintendo Switch too, by the way. That's job number 2 that we have to do, actually. Equal time point coming up in 160 miles. Bloody hell, it's taking a while today, isn't it? 470 to the top of descent. Alright, we've got some jobs to do. What we need to do is figure out... So I bought a Switch 2 on Friday. There's a bit of a story behind it. My kid, he's been kind of on the case for one. And he's only... You know, he's under 10 years old. And he's basically got enough money for a Nintendo Switch 2. Which is crazy. But, fair play to him. Every single birthday, every single Christmas, every single time a grandparent sticks a tenner in his back pocket, he never spends it. He never ever spends it. And I asked him why, like, you know, why, you know, it's really great that you're saving money, but like, what's the thought process behind it? And he was like, well, he goes, I really like computers, but you buy all that stuff. I was like, oh, okay, fair play, I guess. So he's been, just accruing money essentially. Like you said, you know, I'd have maybe bought a PS5, but I've just stolen yours. I was like, yeah, you have. Good job with that, buddy. Saved yourself a load of money while you're at it. Can't argue with that. Dan says, purchased the A320 recently and was so out of my depth. Without the help of various YouTube tutorials on many topics, I'd have never got my head around it. And a general thank you to all flight sim content creators. Nice. I don't think I can really take a lot of credit for that, to be honest. Because I don't really make a lot of tutorial style videos. Maybe I should. But I don't feel like I don't know. I feel like maybe like A330 driver. He's the one you should listen to for stuff like that, not me. Don't listen to me. So anyway, kiddo wanted a Switch 2, and he's got enough money, but he's only just got enough money. He wanted the Mario Kart bundle, which is £430, which is a lot of money. Like, when I was that age, I'd never seen that much money. I'd never spent that much money. It's one thing having that much money, but it's also another thing to spend that much money for the first time. And I said to him, you know, any thoughts on the Switch? And he was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I was like, why not? And he's like, well... He says, if I buy it, I'll have about £8 left. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. Totally understand. And he said, it's like, if you had £100,000, it's like you spending 99,000. That's a bad idea, right? And I was like, yeah, good thinking, buddy. Like, proud of you. Thinking all the right things according to me. And then I said to him, well, if it was half the price, I said, is it the fact you don't want the Switch, or is it the fact that it's just, you know, it's just too much money? And he's like, it's too much money. And I said, well, if it's half the price, would you buy it? He's like, oh yeah, buy it if it's half the price, if it was like £200. Because then he says, I'd have half my money left. So I sort of sat on it for a night, and I was like, I feel like I need to walk with him a little bit on this one. Because I feel really proud of him that he saved up. And it's always been the case that he doesn't want anything with his money, and I feel like it's quite nice that now he's actually put his sights on something, and it kind of shows him the value of saving up for something and then being able to get the thing once he's saved up. But I can still appreciate that it's a hell of a lot of money, and it could be off-putting to him. So I said to him, why don't we go halves on it? You know, we'll do it together, and it will be our Switch. But, you know, I said, look what happened with the PS5. I paid for all of that, and then, you know, look how much I get to play it, which is fine, not complaining. So he was like, yeah, okay, thanks, let's do that. So we did it. We kept our eye on stock, and then on Friday one came into stock, and we nabbed it up. And now we have a Switch 2 with Mario Kart World, but that's about it. Because obviously there's not a lot of games out for it at the moment. Really good game though. So in kind of like the build up to him wanting to get a Switch, I said to him, like, how do you know you want a Switch? Because you've never really played any Nintendo games. And he was like, oh, I don't know. So I was like, I got an idea. So I went up into the loft and I got my GameCube out. And the last couple of weeks prior to us getting the Switch, we've been playing GameCube games like Mario Kart Double Dash, all the good stuff. And because Nintendo games kind of hit a bit differently, I think. It's like, you know, a lot of the games that he plays are particularly on the PlayStation, particularly ones that are aimed at kids. They're like instant gratification, very, very accessible. They just, you feel good from the minute you play them. Now, Nintendo games are brilliant, and I do think they've got a certain charm about them, but you kind of need to put in something to get something out. And I was trying to get that point across to him, like, you know, I showed him Zelda. You know, the Wind Waker, the cel-shaded one they did on the GameCube. I was like, this is a brilliant game, but you've kind of got to let it build up. You've got to get into it. You've got to read what comes up on the screen, otherwise you won't know what's going to go on, and like all that sort of stuff. So I said, like, a lot of Nintendo games, they kind of hit a bit differently in that regard. So, yeah, he spent a little bit of time on the GameCube, and he was like, yep, still want a Switch, so we got a Switch. Thing I'm thinking of now, though, which is why I'm telling you all this, is potentially I could sell the GameCube bits and pieces, and it turns out it's worth quite a lot of money. Like, even if you were to go to somewhere like CEX, which those of you who aren't from the UK may not have heard of them. If I go to the In-Flight Entertainment, here's CEX's website. For example, if I type in Double Dash, Mario Kart Double Dash, no Zelda bonus disc. 28 quid still. If I wanted to buy that today, and they'll give me 18. Whoops, I didn't mean to click that. 18 for a trade-in voucher. Similarly, Zelda, the Wind Waker. GameCube games, there we go. £32, and I've got the bonus disc, so mine should be worth more than that. But look at the price of all this, look. Still 20 quid for Mario Sunshine, 28 for Smash Bros. Melee, 28 for Luigi's Mansion. Poor old Metroid Prime, that was a good game, that's worth more than 12 quid. There you go, Zelda Wind Waker with bonus disc plus manual boxed. That is exactly what I've got. 30 quid I could get on a trade-in. Can use the Airbus TCA pack with a Boeing? Yes. Hey, Mud King. So yeah, there's a lot of value tied up. And like, even if I take the prices that they're offering here, I've got Star Fox, I've got... Oh, Rogue Leader's only worth 6 quid. Gutted. How is that Sonic game worth 22 quid? That sucked. We were playing that the other night. It was dreadful when I played it like 20 odd years ago, and it's still dreadful now. What else is there? I don't know what the actual console's worth. Resident Evil 4, 18 quid. Resident Evil 0. Rebel Strike. Soul Calibur 2. I mean, you were sort of getting into the more generic titles now, aren't we? But what add-ons do I use? Well, obviously the plane, I guess, is an add-on, the Phoenix. We use various scenery. We use V-Pilot. We use FSLTL. What else do I use? New Sky for the VA. Oh my god, GameCube Indigo unboxed. Which is, again, what mine is. Bloody hell, 115 quid. So my question is to you all, do I sell it? You get one controller. Do I also use a First Officer add-on? No, I don't. Is the APLV2 worth it? Banshee, I'm not entirely sure. What are you talking about? APLV2. Well, the only reason I'm thinking about it, Elliot, is that there's a load of Switch games we want, like Switch 1 games, and they're like still 30, 40 quid a pop, and I could potentially switch out the GameCube for a load of Switch games. Realistically, we're never going to play it. Oh, A Pilot's Life. I wouldn't know, buddy. I've never tried it. Sorry. There's a Panasonic one, wasn't there? I did have a Wavebird controller. One of these. Oh, 68 quid. Seriously. See, I left a couple of AA batteries in mine, and they since exploded over the last 20 years while it was in the loft. A Pilot's Life is fun. It's a career thing. Oh, okay. Well, I kind of feel like we've got the whole career mode thing sorted through New Sky. Like, that's kind of our career mode. Wow, these controllers still go for a lot of money too. Nostalgia really does sell, doesn't it? I mean, I was kind of amazed that the GameCube even turned on. I honestly thought, like, no way this is turning on. GameCube accessories. Is that like a HDMI thing? Oh, the Game Boy player. I remember that. That little thing you put on top. Oh, I remember really wanting this. I was so desperate for one of these. I thought that was going to be the best thing ever if I could get that little screen that goes on top. GameCube memory card. Why is that 60 quid? 1019. Visual memory card, small and compact with non-compressed memory to stop you using your game files. 1019 blocks. Well, how many's mine got? Don't sell it. Retro gaming is coming on big time, but if you're going to sell it, I wouldn't sell it to CEX. Yeah, I maybe need to clean up that Wavebird. Tell you what I did buy. I bought a controller off of Amazon for the Switch, like a Pro Controller thing. £16. It works an absolute treat. Absolute treat. Couldn't believe it. I've still got the Sega well, not Genesis, Mega Drive upstairs in the loft. That's annoying. My air conditioner unit was actually on heat mode. I thought it was getting warm in here. Offworld says, I'm going to need consoling if I sell my GameCube. Jack, that's going to be it for today, mate. We started late and I can only go till like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Can I fly from EHAM to TNCA? I don't know. Maybe. Oh, for the next Europe city. Hey, Demon. Let's have a look. It's, My Airline, Airnaut, Awards. So we're going here now to Greenland, then we've got a big old slog back to the Faroe Islands. Yeah, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And it ends in Gatwick. Are they all capitals? Well, this is what Grumpy wrote. Visit almost all the European capitals. Apologies to the countries I've missed out, with a promise to visit the missed capitals next time. Maybe. Lol. Some of the countries visited on our tour are not the actual capital of that country, but they're the nearest airport to that capital. Iceland and the Faroes, for example. It's a long 30 legs and has to be done in sequence, starting from Heathrow and ending in Gatwick. A slightly more relaxed minimum New Sky rating of 8.75 has been set for this tour to make up for the length. Is it VATSIM? Yeah, we're on VATSIM now. Look at us, all on our own up here. Forever alone. So is this, yeah, where's the airport here then? There it is. That looks teeny tiny. Yeah, so we sort of have to get ourselves all the way out, get ourselves back. Can I look at Australia? Sydney's on. Ground and tower and approach. Or radar, whatever they call it. Is there a way to access that list without joining New Sky? Probably not. Yes, Craig, it is, but you have to enable DX12. Which can bring its own set of issues, as I'm sure you're aware. TV's going to turn itself off. Don't do it. 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 Do it. Amused astronaut? Got cut off there. Thank you for the follow on Twitch anyway. And thank you all for getting us over 1,000 follows today. It's weird, isn't it? We got 1,000 follows on Twitch today and 25 on YouTube to get today. 25k. Both on the same day. Did I see London Controller land at Nook last week? I saw some other channel that seems to basically nick other people's content and clip it. That came up on like TikTok or something for me. Yeah, Shoreliners, hang on. I mean, I'd encourage you to join New Sky. It's very, very cool. Right, let's go up to the top. From the top. So we're heading now, we're doing this one at the top. Keflavik to Nook. Nook to Vagar. Vagar to Oslo. Oslo to Helsinki. Helsinki to Berlin. Berlin to Essenboga. Never been there. Essenboga to Athens. Athens to Malta. Malta to Rome. Rome to Bucharest. Bucharest to Budapest. Budapest to Warsaw. Warsaw to Vaclav, which is Prague. Prague to Zurich. Zurich to Madrid. Hang on, let me scroll down a bit here. Madrid to Gibraltar. Gibraltar, Madeira. Madeira, Lanzarote. Lanzarote to Delgado. Delgado to Paris. Paris Orly, that is. To Stockholm. Stockholm to Tallinn. Never heard of that one. Then to Larnaca, then Larnaca to Belgrade, Belgrade to Amsterdam, Amsterdam to Stockholm, Stockholm to Brussels, Brussels back to Gatwick. Flippin' heck, how much has Grumpy done? Has he done all of it? No, he hasn't. Blimey. Grumpy's been busy. Uh, 340. Estonia, got it. Am I still using the Moser force feedback base? Yes, Gary. Except you can't really see it anymore because I've buried it. Let me move out of the way. I've made a little pedestal to try and get the stick at the same height that it would be if we were in the real thing. So basically I've tried to make that. And it's kind of worked. I've got all the footage on my phone of me building it. I just need to stitch it together into a video and drag some stupid narrative through it, and then I should be able to make a video for it on YouTube. Have I ever done shared cockpit? No, Jack, but possible that Doc and I might do something in the future. We're not sure yet, though. We're trying to work it out, because obviously time zones and stuff. How long do I fly that sim? Or how do you fly? How long do I fly that sim? What's the busiest airport I've ever been to? Probably. I don't know. Heathrow and Gatwick can be quite busy. Probably the busiest I've known it is when I got caught at Gatwick because. Yeah, I think it was so busy one night I had to wait 20 minutes to get clearance. And that's before you start thinking about pushbacks and taxis. It was just absolutely heaving. Absolutely heaving. Yes, Gary, that's right. We did a similar thing for the Ava base. And again, like, still love that Ava base. I think it's a really great base for the money. I think, like, a lot of people were expecting me to somehow compare the Moser to the Ava base and, like, shame one or the other. It's like, no. They're totally different products in totally different categories, targeting totally different price segments, targeting totally different markets. Like, you can't compare the two. Like, that'd be really unfair. It's when I did the Ava base review, so many people in the comments were like, if it's not force feedback, I'm not getting it. It's like, well, at 250 quid, the hell do you expect? Like, you're not going to get force feedback for that. Like, that's you're kind of in high-end sprung territory there, really. Have I seen Moser have teased they're doing an Airbus and Boeing throttle? I have not seen that, Ross, but I'm quite interested to see it now. We're going to get a lot of stuff, aren't we? Shit, is Expo this week? It is, isn't it? It's this Friday. I'd forgotten about that. I'd forgotten all about that. Ooh. 2 days ago, I flew out of Zurich. Waited 50 minutes from that time. Delivery came on. Damn. Yeah, okay, that definitely outdoes my delay, for sure. Yeah, what Cheddar says. Your controls. Product reveals on Friday. Happy days. I just want someone, I don't care who it is, I want somebody to make us a tiller that I can bury, in there. I want a little tiller to go here on my pedestal. That's what we want. That's what I want. Somebody please make me a tiller for $100. Is that asking too much? Sim setup on my website does need updating. It's been there's a lot in flux at the moment. So yeah, it does need updating. Is this the Phoenix? Yeah. Did I know that 18 left 36 right at Eham is closed for the NATO that is coming to the Netherlands? What do you mean the NATO? Philip, I'm not making my own tiller. I'm drawing a line. I've done enough making stuff. Like this pedestal ate so much time. Like there came a point where I was like, I've just got to finish it now because I'm just too far into it. But yeah, I just want a mass market solution to exist, not just for me, but for everyone. I don't feel like, yeah, it's great that there's 3D printer ones that are kind of going and stuff like that, but I just feel like we just need one from Thrustmaster, we need one from Winwing, we need one from Moser, whoever does it, I don't care, just somebody, it's a single axis, just somebody get on and bloody do it. Like, maybe it's like a size of the market thing, I don't know. Maybe it's that. I'm back. Where are we at? We are... There you go. Coming up on Greenland. I mean, you could argue that £100 is too much. Because if you think about it, you've got like the twist action on the Airbus TCA stick. Well, you can get that for 50 quid and you get all the other stick. But I understand that product development, tooling costs, it all needs to be gotten back. So I would happily pay $100 for a tiller. Especially one that if you could take the top off of it and mount it into your setup somehow. What I fear is that somebody's going to make one that sits on top of a big fat box and I'm not going to be able to mount it into here. Or maybe I will. Maybe I can 3D print something. I don't know. I don't know. I have to fire up the printer. I think if Thrustmaster don't do one, I will set an automatic email up every day just spamming my contact at Thrustmaster until they make one. That's my plan. That's how childish I'm willing to get over the whole thing. Now, it's 1 o'clock. You can use the stick as a tiller. You could do. I just don't really want 2 sticks. Oh, Philip, I'm sure you... I don't have enough time for like any projects like that. Like anything that could potentially become a time sink, I just have to completely rule out of my life at the minute because... Yeah, I'm just so time poor. I'm just so time poor, it's unbelievable. I would much sooner just give someone 100 quid and get some time back. IIDB steering tiller captain side. Searching it now, hang on. Oh my word. Oh my giddy aunt, look at that. Yeah, it's all good, Philip. I thought the map would be alright for a minute. $289. Oof. Tabletop use with an easy screw-free mount. Quite a lot of money there, that, isn't it? But if someone could make something that resembles that... Again, I could maybe get the hole saw out, couldn't I? And I could cut a circular hole in the... Yeah, if I could cut a hole out, I could then make a 3D printed cradle, much like I did with the Ava, to then sort of go bzz, bzz from like underneath and get it in there. I mean, that is a bit of kit though, isn't it? It's all well and good going, oh, it's only a single axis. It's like, yeah, well, there's a lot more going on there. Like the disconnect disc and all that sort of stuff. Well, maybe if FS Expo doesn't yield anything, then maybe we'll have to look at something like this. What we need is some of them, one of these, or something like this, and some TPRs. And I think we can call the setup done. And I know it's really dangerous saying that. I know it's dangerous, and I know we shouldn't do it, but I feel like at that point we can call it done. Because at that point, what on earth more would I need? Other than just like looking at stuff for the sake of looking at stuff. And I know you're going to say I told you so when... You know, but... I don't know. I don't know. It does look bloody good though, doesn't it? That looks really good. Do I fly 2020 or 24? More so 24 now. Ask your kids to go halves on it. There you go. Dan's figured it out. Yeah, come on, kid. You owe me. I bought you half the Switch. You can get me half a tiller. That is a damn fine idea. I need an FMC and an overhead. FMC, I'm not sure about those. They look amazing. I just don't feel like, as a content creator anyway, I don't feel like it'd be the best thing. No, I don't have an MCDU, because when I'm using the MCDU, I feel like it's quite nice to do it like this. And then you can see exactly what I'm doing. The buttons all light up. You can see what I'm doing. Imagine if you couldn't see what I was doing, and I was just sort of pressing buttons over here, and you just saw the screen changing based on what I'm doing, and you wouldn't have a clue really what I'm doing. People wouldn't be able to follow along. That's what bothers me about it. And not only that, it's like once I get one for the Airbus, and it's like, oh, what about the 737? And it's like, oh, what about the 777? And then what about the 757 when that, eventually gets here? And then what about the 747? And it just goes on and on and on and on. Before you know it, you spent probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds on these things, where I could just look down and click some buttons here. I don't know. Hello, Mark. We're just discussing MCDUs and tillers. We've been looking at this. Quite a lot of money, I'll grant you. But we're living in hope that somebody at FS, almost said weekend, FS Expo, is going to make us one on the cheap. That's what my one dream for FS Expo is. That's my problem with the TCA throttle now, the compatibility with other planes than Airbus. I find it works well with other planes. What you might want to try is spad.next. Piece of software. I've got it open. I've got it running now. So here is spad.next, and what it does, I've done a whole video on this as well, so you can go into more depth if you want. If you go to controls, you can see here it's got all of my bits of kit. You unbind all the controls from it in the sim, and then you can download profiles. So my profiles are in here, and it will auto detect your plane as well and switch to the right profile. So I've got profiles for the Builds A320 family stuff on 24. I've got a 737 profile. I've got a 777 profile. I've even got one for the ATR, the A300, although I haven't flown them in ages, so I don't know if they still work. Fly-by-wire. So basically whatever I jump into, my throttles can work nicely. So you have to download online snippets. So you would like click on, dangerous doing this live. You would like click on this, and then you go to online snippets down here. I'm not going to do it in case I wreck everything mid-flight, but other people online have made snippets for like the 737. Oh Christ, you can't see, can you? Sorry. Yeah, so other people have made, you go to the online snippet button here. Les O'Reilly has made so many snippets for like the PMDG 737, things like that. It's really good. And again, you've got like the left add-on, the right add-on. So if you're struggling binding controls yourself and getting good results, maybe try spad.next. It is payware, but I think you get a trial, so you can try it out for a couple of days or whatever. Give it a go. Oh, nice one, Dan. I'm living in hope that the FCU Cube is going to get support in spad.next soon, and then we can someone will hopefully make a 737 profile, or maybe I'll have to build my own. But yeah, check it out. Check it out. Very useful bit of software, in my view. That's another good point, what Grey Shirt says about switching between 2020 and 24. Like I can just jump in a Boeing 777 and just not think. And they can do things like they can implement logic. So, for example, if you're on the ground and or rather if I'm in the air and I turn my engine switches off, depending on the profile and who made it, they can do things like if engines equals on and in the air equals true and you flick the switches to off, don't turn them off, because they're needed. Whereas if you're on the ground, you can turn your engines off. So it can sort of add like a little layer of logic on top of stuff, so it can look at what the sim's doing, and if you do something that's like not a good idea, it can be like, actually we won't do that. But yeah, spad.next is not free, but there is a trial, I believe. So you can assess it before you pay the money. I would say it's worth the money. It's like really helped me out. Like every time a new plane's come out, or I've bought a new plane that perhaps isn't as new as it once is, but there's always a part of me that's like, oh no, new plane's come out. I'm going to have to set up all my controls. Or I can just download a SPAD profile, assuming there is one. But you have to sort of unassign all the stuff in the sim, otherwise spad.next and the sim are going to be conflicting. So you have to basically say to the sim, unbind all your controls, and then just hand it off to SPAD and then let SPAD do it. Good bit of kit though. Right, what time are we at? 1:10. What time are we getting there? Not actually that far, are we now? 180 miles on top of descent. What have we got around us traffic-wise? And is there any control that's appeared? I doubt it, to be honest. Yeah. Still got all that way to go. We's doing all right. Well, I'm going to take the opportunity then to make a quick coffee and potentially grab a little sandwich for lunch, and I'll be back out here in a moment. I'll leave you to enjoy some wing views. I'll see you in a minute. back. I decided against the coffee and got a bottle of water for hydration. Hey Derek, I'm right here. Taking an unauthorised break. Do I have any tips for making the Phoenix feel less slippery when taxiing on the ground? I use the T-Flight rudder pedals. We were just talking about that, actually, Hawk, and we were talking about maybe some sort of tiller. Because that is how they would be steered on the ground in the real world. If you look down here, you see that in there? That is what you steer with. You sort of turn it with your hand. Hey, Mr. Plan. So, yeah. Hey, Emma. Great day, by the way. Found Monster Munch in the cupboard. I love having kids. Like, my wife gets all the kids' crisps. And I get to eat them. What a time. So yeah, I'm hoping that someone at Expo is going to make us a affordable rudder. But who knows? Getting there now. You don't understand what we're doing here. We're flying on Flight Sim. On VATSIM, which is an online network full of real people and real controllers, albeit right now we're in uncontrolled airspace. But back in the UK, where it's all lit up, you've got real humans taking care of business. Got someone taking care of London Control, Heathrow Approach, got Heathrow Tower on, Gatwick's got ground and tower, so... brings a whole new element to it all. So we are about 14 minutes away from top of descent. And the wind is at 030 and 11 knots, which isn't too bad. You can deal with that. So, that still puts us on for runway 04, doesn't it? If the wind is at 030. What am I doing all the way over here? There's us. We're coming down for 04, so we're going to follow the purple line until Golf Hotel 22 Foxtrot. Vector ourselves, probably along that dash green line in all honesty, down to Nunba. It's actually quite a long way. Can we take a shortcut from Iluvo? I bet we could actually. From Iluvo we could just go direct to Nunba, couldn't we? That's going to cut out a lot. Yeah. We could probably do it from Kogag, couldn't we? We could probably do it from right now. Is there anyone else in Greenland? Are we going to upset anyone if we do that? One other thing. Oh no, they've just landed. Okay, so they're ahead of us. Oh, that's the one that pushed back, I think, because I was farting around. Given that we've got the whole of Greenland to ourselves, now that British Airways 49 Sierra is left, and Iceland Air is on the ground, already at Nook, I think we can take some liberties, actually. Let's go direct to Nunba. So we're going to cut off a big old corner. Nook traffic, Air Not 65 Papa inbound, Kogag for a 04 arrival into Nook. We're going to fly direct now to Nunba for a ILS Zulu 04 arrival. Nook traffic. Probably no one's going to hear that. But whatevs. Now that means that our top of descent has just dropped by about a minute. 2 minutes. 90 miles to go. Okay, 04. Apply the weather. 020 now. At 8 knots. Uh, 8 degrees, 1004. Now into... What's the minimums? Decision height. 1220. All right. Want me to grab you some PMDG pens? Oh, yeah, that'd be so cool, Mark. So what's your plan, Mark? What's going on for Expo? When do you go? You getting there for like Thursday or something? The detents in the Airbus throttles, when you're flying Boeing, you can just push through them. And you'll find that most of the time when you're doing a manual throttle landing, you're likely to be beneath the climb gate anyway. And there's no reason you should be going above it unless you're like seriously messing up. Or you can unscrew them and remove them if that bothers you. You can remove them. You turn the thing upside down, you can unscrew the little plastic things that create the detents, and then it's just like a free range throttle. But rather than unscrew it and screw it back in every time I want to switch, I just leave them in. Don't bother me at all, really. TBH. Okay, so I'm going to descend to 2,500 feet. Only 45 minutes north, so I'm going down 9 AM Friday. Grab your badge, meet up with friends for the announcement. Saturday, I'm going to keep going past the PMDG booth to grab pens. You can also 3D print custom detents, which I did, which actually moved the climb gate further up. So normally the climb gate would be here, but instead it's up here, which doesn't look like a lot. But it is actually quite a bit when it comes to movement and range. Any chance we could see your adrenaline settings? Yeah. Where do I even go? Here we go. Right, performance. So we go to gaming. I've got Flight Sim 24 selected, and just everything's just like disabled, 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 disabled. In advanced, we've got just whatever it went to by default. I've turned nothing on here really. The main bit is in performance. I've got a custom profile running, so I've got minimum frequency 2400, maximum 25. Undervolted it, I've gone to 1120. VRAM tuning I've taken to 2714 because there's a weird 14 megahertz offset. To get it to actually hit 2700, you've got to give it 2714 for reasons that I'm unsure about, but whatever. Power limit I've upped that to 15, and you can see it's using about 350 watts at the moment. You can do fan tuning as well. I've got mine to 65. And I've got smart access memory on, but that's all done by the BIOS anyway. Yeah, I had to print the little detent thing. Mark, if anyone announces a tiller at Expo, please go up to them and thank them personally from me. Yeah, I mean, Craig, I didn't really want an AMD card. I didn't set out to be like, you know what, I really want to go from NVIDIA to AMD. But equally, I wasn't like, oh, I'm not going AMD. Like, I kind of don't really care. It was just, it solved my problem for the cheapest possible price. So, that's why I did it. I'm not like Team Red or Team Green. I'm Team Wallet, to be honest. Oh, I hope Windwing makes a tiller. Or literally anyone. $100 tiller. Let's go. Like I said in my last video, or whichever, yeah, a previous video, I forget if it was the last video. Like whenever they come out on stream, Asobo, and they say, oh, you know, we found some optimizations and we've saved like, you know, a few hundred megabytes here. It's like, that's great and it's welcome, but what I really want is, I want them to be like, we figured it out, we found it. And we've root caused it all. And the whole situation's now flipped on its head. Yes, it's going to use a bit more than 2020, obviously, because it's doing more. But you're no longer going to get, like, 18 gig at Edinburgh being used, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's the problem, Elliot, because, you know, for the Ultra preset, or for their ideal specs, which I think they said was targeting Ultra at 4K 30, they said a 4080. And I had a 4080 Super, so I was like, great, I'm sorted. Until I wasn't. You're tempted by the FSL A320 Neo. I'm kind of not. I'm kind of not. Like, I know there's the whole, like, you know, malware thing that went on and whatever, but like, I don't want to dwell on that too much. It's just I feel like I've got loads of value from the Phoenix. Oh, Craig, they're working on it, I think. They're definitely working on it. I'm sure it's on the front of their mind a lot. I don't know whether it's a DX12 thing. Like, I know that we compare it to 2020, and like in 2020, the other day we were using like 6.5 gigs of RAM. And it was like, wow, this is so cool. But that was in DX11. Had I been in DX12, it might have been different. Marius, I don't know. Probably a 7.3 or an A320, I would have thought. Alright, should we start our descent? Let's get it dialed in. 2,500 feet. Because we're on Unicom and we're lazy. 5 miles to go. There we go. Managed descent. Whoops. Look, traffic air not 65 Papa inbound Nunba, and we're descending now to 2,500 feet from flight level 340. Do you ever feel like you're talking to yourself? I've got an entire country to myself. America's starting to light up though. Look at that. I have a 9950 X3D 5080 with 64 gigs of RAM and it still eats a ton of resources. It's insane. Yeah. I keep being tempted with a 9800 X3D, but then sometimes I just feel like I'm going to spend like £800 upgrading to all of that. A whole new platform upgrade. And I'm still probably going to get really crap FPS when I get into Edinburgh. On VATSIM when it's busy. So it's kind of like, I can have it definitely be rubbish at the moment. Or I could have maybe a slightly better version of rubbish. And I just don't know that it's worth it. Maybe it is. I don't know. Who knows? Matthew, we're running 24 today. To be honest, most of the time we're in 24 now. Love me some Monster Munch. Yeah, all come the same really. Like, I kind of spec my PC around what I need it to do for simming, but I also play a lot of other games. Or I like to think that I play a lot of other games. I just rarely have time at the moment. Like, I've I bought a month of Game Pass on PC for like a tenner, so I could play Doom: The Dark Ages. And I was like, oh, a month will be fine. I'll get through it in a month. I've now renewed Game Pass for 3 consecutive months. I had it renew yesterday. I was like, damn it, it's done it again. And I'm like a quarter of the way through the game. It's almost like for financial reasons, I need to just write off an evening and just complete it, and then I can cancel Game Pass. Is that Gav, Elliot? Yeah, I do wonder how Gav does it sometimes. Maybe I should just get a 1080p monitor. That'd solve it, wouldn't it? Go back to the 4080. Do I have FS2 crew? No, I don't. Bro has 2 yokes. Yes, well, Bro has a joystick and Bro has a yoke. Yeah, I don't know how Gav does it, because I found multi-streaming was a real issue. Even at 1080p, it was causing me trouble. And it was when we flew to Lelystad. I was talking to Ronald, the developer, and we... Shamak, hello. Thanks for subbing. Yeah, I was doing a flight to Lelystad to try and, obviously help out a bit, and the frames per second just hit the floor. They really did. So I've just had a thought. I'm going to have to level off, aren't I, at 10,000 feet, I think. There's a reason why. It's just suddenly dawned on me. There's a reason why we shouldn't go direct, because we've got this whole load of mountains ahead of us. Get ourselves out over that water. It's alright, we're plenty high enough. We're fine. We'll follow the river in. Again, we've got the whole country to ourselves. Literally no one else is here on VATSIM. Where's that? We're in Greenland at the minute. We're going to Nook. Yeah. There's a reason why we should have stayed over there. Because it's not as high. But I suppose it's not too bad over here. I did notice that, actually. When I went to Infinity Simwings, we were flying... flying to Innsbruck. And... yeah, it just kind of dawned on me how the mountains could look really close to you. Almost like, oh my god, we're going to hit them. But you just don't. The little autopilot thing on my desk is from Wingflex. It's the FCU Cube. Let's get our speed down, 250. Taking the scenic route into Nook. Greenland is awfully pretty, isn't it? Awfully. And the airport should be down over there somewhere. Go left by 10 degrees. Maybe 5 degrees, in fact. That's better. Landing lights on. Okay, 68.8. 5.8. Whoopsie. Cheers, physical. $74.6. We go auto brake medium. Let's go now direct to Nunba. Go speed 2. Let's go 210. Hopefully the weather's better in Nook today. I landed there last night in a few flurries. Wow. Well, we'll see. I feel like I'm not flaring enough recently in the bus, so kind of curious to see how that goes for us. Alright, jolly good. Let's level off at 3,000. Nook traffic, Air 065, Papa, turning right base for a 04 ILS Zulu arrival. Cheers, Ryan.
2,500.
Let's go flaps 2, speed brakes away. God, this looks nice here, doesn't it? Alright, so we're about 12 miles out, roughly. UNH is now 1004, so we'll update to that. That's a view there, isn't it? Yikes. So, at the risk of floating it, and it's fine, we've got loads of time. If we float it, we'll go around. It's just I feel like with this new stick setup, I'm a little bit prone to not pulling back as much because I'm afraid I'm going to float it, but then... no traffic, Air 65 per power, turning final now for 04, ILS Zulu approach, no traffic. Right, let's go speed 180. And we'll see what this scenery's like that cost me £8. Flaps 3. That'll be the scenery down there. Feels like our detail compression thing is kicking in again. Okay, approach mode armed. 160 until 5. Flaps full. Gear down. Go to our final approach speed, please and thank you. Okay, lights are set. Gear down, 3 green, auto brake medium, speed brake armed, flaps full. That is a funny looking wind. 80 mile an hour at what? Or 080 at 2? It's basically not doing anything, is it? 020 and 8 is apparently what it's doing on the ground there. Right, is everybody ready? Low brake better. Low brake won't stop us in time, sadly. So we're going to have to backtrack, aren't we? Unless we can get stopped real quick. Which I don't think we're going to. Oh, Mike, we'll be lucky to get that. We'll be lucky. Okay, my plane. Nook traffic, air not 65 per power on a 3 mile final now, 04. Nook traffic.
100 above.
Probably should have done that before disabling the autopilot, but that's neither here nor there. Continue. A little bit on the high side. Let's just correct for that. Get ourselves over to the left. Not by much though. I'm not going to chase it. We'll let it come to us.
500.
Feels like we're too low, but I'm inclined to believe it.
300. 200.
Light slow.
40. 30. 20. Retard.
Yeah, we're down. 400 feet a minute again! Bloody hell. Brutal. Why can't I land softly in the A321? Oh man, we're going to have to load up FSI panel and have another go at that in a minute, because I feel like I'm doing too many hard landings in this thing. That's going to impact our score for sure.
Retard. Retard.
I have. Oh, that's disappointing. There you go, what Mark said. Right, we need to disconnect from VATSIM after this. Once we've shut the old engines down, we do have a little bit of time. Look, traffic air not 65 Papa, backtracking now, using runway 24. 22. No traffic. It has to be the worst call out I've ever made. I feel like it's only in the 321 that I seem to slam it down. If I was in the minibus, I'd probably have been alright. The plugin that came up at the bottom was actually New Sky. That's what is running our virtual airline software. But that isn't... It's not really a landing rate monitor, although it does do that. Why can't I get the Phoenix A321 below 400 feet? Happened the other day as well. Thank God for FSI panel. That's all I'll say. What PC do I have? I've got a 5800 X3D with a 7900 XTX. 64 gig of RAM. Right, now where do I want to go? Probably not there. That down there looks like where I should be going. Let's get off the runway anyway. Oh, cheers, Thomas! Who got it? David! Congratulations. Thanks, Thomas. Really appreciate that. So I paid £8 for this. Was it worth it? Yeah, Thomas, you're now a part owner in this scenery. Just like Wise Hat is a part owner of my new toaster.
Seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging.
I mean, the reason why I bought it was because I think the runway here is significantly different on the default one. If you, on 24, if you zoom in, you don't have to go there, you just zoom in on the map when you're in the world view thing. There is what seems to be a taxiway that is made up of a runway that is got crosses all over it. And then there's a really short runway. So I think this is basically the redone version. I got the, is it the MM? Whatever they're called? The newest one, I think, that everyone was talking about a while ago. Okay, let's find somewhere to go, shall we? I would put out a unicorn call, but like, literally, what's the point? Let's go for stand 3. I'm quite confused. Alright, we'll go here. That's with my Stream Decks. I've got different OBS scenes, Linus, that do that. Right. Let's see the damage. I've got a horrible feeling we might not get what we need out of this. Yeah, APU's fired. We may have to redo this flight if we're not careful. It's going to be devastating, isn't it, if that's the case? Oh, okay. Only the touchdown. Average touchdown. Okay, it was average. It wasn't bad. It was average. Airport looks good though, doesn't it? 9.72. Right, so the next thing we do... Now we've got that one done and dusted. I've got about half an hour. Someone's wanting a 737 MAX. Okay, V-Pilot is gone. Watch this. If you guys haven't seen this before, you're going to love it.
Passenger's bus is coming.
Good old JP sorting us out of FSI panel. Dismiss all that. What we want to do is panel state, ready, activate. So we've told it we're going to go to Nook, runway 4, short final, and it's going to set the plane up for us. Give it a second, because it's down here doing stuff. Oh no, well, my door's open. Release parking brake. Set your thrust levers to the climb detent. We may go through the terminal. There you go. VATSIM, you have to apply for an account or get an account and then take a little test to show that you know roughly what you're doing. Oh, the wing view. Sorry, that's something totally different. I've got a video on the channel, Linus, all about it. Search like AirNot quick and easy wing views and you'll find it. Mike, that's where we're going next. That's where we have to go next as part of the tour that Grumpy's made for us in the in New Sky. So it's here, back to Vagar, then we can start getting on the continent a bit more. What sorcery is this? This is FSI panel. So, obviously we've done the flight now, that's all done. But it'd be quite nice to have another go at the landing, because I don't feel like we did a good job. And I'd like to get better in the A321, because I always seem to slam it down somehow. FSI panel, if you tell it where you want to go. We told it we want to go to Nook, runway 04. You can do what kind of final approach you want. And then it sets you up. So you can kind of bosh out the landings and get some practice in. There you go, look. It's very, very cool. What's the best add-on for realism? Ugh. I don't know. Probably the planes themselves, to be honest. You can go a long way with just a plane and VATSIM. Right, come on then. No messing this time.
1,000.
Maybe I need to flare a bit earlier. I feel like I may be flaring at more like 30 feet. Maybe I need to flare at 40. Plus we were coming in a bit high. It does sort of feel like we're doing again. Okay, that's looking good.
500.
Glide slope, glide slope.
200.
Light slope.
40, 30, 20, retard,
Oh no.
5.
Well, that was smoother, only just, and I went way off the centre line. Not good enough! Not good enough! So, we set ourselves up. And we go again. Levers into climb. And we have another go. Okay, that's feeling good. Lucky I've got clean weather today. I landed yesterday, you could barely see it at 2,500 feet and it was raining. Good for you. Yeah, we should probably revisit, we should probably use the A350 for one of the routes. Good. Now we have control. Let the approach mode line us up. Okay, here we go. Third time the charm? What do we think? Keep that nose down. We are just starting to go a little bit high. That's better. Two reds, two whites. About half a dot off on the ILS, but that's alright. Three reds, or three whites. Don't really want that. ILS says we're okay.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
That was smoother, wasn't it? So that was a more stronger flare at 30 feet. I was following the ILS markers then because I wanted to test out how accurate the ILS markers are versus the Pappies, and it turns out not at all. So that's good. Okay, so I need a much stronger flare at 30. This is why we use FSI panel, everybody, because it helps you get better really quickly. Okay, what I'm going to do this time, as a little test of the scenery, but it's so annoying that, Elliot, isn't it? How they're always both off. Like, how is that how is that a thing? Surely it's like fundamental to the sim that the Pappies work. You know? Yeah, a little bit on the late side there, wasn't it? That's because I was following the ILS, and the ILS brought me in higher than I think the Pappies wanted me. Had I followed the Pappies, it'd have been better. It was announced that the issue was fixed in 24 as it was so infuriating in 2020, and it isn't at all. Yeah. Okay. Hold the brakes for 3 seconds, then we take control. Good. Right, I'm gonna do a hands-free landing, okay? And we'll see where the ILS puts us if we let the plane auto land. And we'll see what it does if we leave it to its own thing. Cheers, Dominic. Cheers for the follow. Okay, so we've got two reds, two whites. And the ILS is... where is it? Just there. See what it does. Where does it put us? Maybe it was me. Maybe I was squirming around too much. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, let's see what the feet per minute is on an auto land, shall we? Two reds, two whites. ILS is bang on the money. Maybe it was me. Nope, three whites.
500.
All whites.
200. 50, 40, 30, 20. Check. Retard.
158 feet per minute. So basically, what we're trying to say is my last landing was as good as an auto land. Yes, 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 thank you. Okay. So, they are out, aren't they? The Pappies and the ILS. That is so annoying. There's part of me that thinks maybe it's on the scenery developers to sort out, though, because the minute you're going to charge money for a piece of scenery, I kind of feel like you need to move the Pappies such that they line up with whatever the ILS does. Was that just me? Is that me being unreasonable? Could be. Right, Brian. We're checking out the new scenery for Nook in Greenland. And we made a bit of a mess on the landing first time around on the actual flight. So we're redoing it with FSI panel. Let's go to stick cam. Should I buy the scenery? It looks alright to me. I mean, I paid just under £9 for it. It's like £8 and something pence. Depends how much you're going to fly in and out. I mean, really, I'm unlikely to come back here a lot, to be honest. It could have been a £8 or £9 down the drain, to be quite honest with you, because I'm unlikely to come back to Greenland as part of my regular dotting around on VATSIM. But it looked like the runway was a bit broken on the default one. Didn't take the time to check out if there was a freeware alternative, so I just paid money, which was possibly my error. So yeah, check out the freeware one as well. Again, it's quite a small airport, so like I think £8 or £9 is appropriate. If this was like £20, I'd be like, what the hell? Like, nope. Okay, my plane. Nice and steady. It seem to go high here. Is it because the runway is high and the sea is lower? Is that what's throwing me out visually? I feel like it might be. And there's no excuse. Just follow the flight directors, really, isn't it? Okay, let's follow the Pappies in this time. We'll ignore the glide slope. At the risk of getting a load of glide slope call-outs, we'll just use our eyeballs.
400. 300.
Glide slope.
Yeah.
Glide
200.
slope.
40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
Oh, a little bit early. A little bit early. Is that still really 300 feet per minute? I call bullshit on that. That was way better than that. Surely. Oh yeah, FSI panel says the same too. Right, last one. Last one, then I've got to wrap this up. be curious to see what the freeware's like now, actually. My brakes are also hot. Hit a butter. I'll try. This is the last one now. Last one of the day, then I gotta go. I mean, it's only cheap, Brian. It was like just £8. So I wouldn't expect loads, but I think they did add some like hotel buildings or something like that, yeah. I think the issue with the default one, like I was saying earlier, go onto the world map and zoom in on Nook and you'll see there's like a very short runway, and then off to the right there's another runway, but that's got crosses all over it. It's almost like it's been renovated. Two and a half years ago, damn. Those gifted subs are dangerous. Yeah, it's Philip, wasn't it? Thank you, Philip, for donating that. It all helps keep the lights on around here. I do appreciate it. So it totally flips the economics of streaming on its head. If you rely on ad revenue, you might as well. I mean, you're probably upside down on the electricity bill. It's that little, so it's yeah, really appreciate it. So thank you for that.
Light slow.
Light slow. 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
How's that still 300 feet per minute? Only 1.25 G though, so not too bad. And we did go a little bit off centre line. Getting there though. Getting there slowly with it. Right, folks. That is the last one of the day. Oh, someone says, with FSI panel, can you just load up short final at any airport, or do you have to complete the flight there first? No, you can go to any airport. So just to quickly demonstrate, let's say we want to go to Heathrow now. We'll go EGLL. Select airport, select runway. It'll even give you advice on which runway to select. So it takes you got a headwind of 14 knots on 27 left. We can go for that one. Select a downwind, vectors, base, long final. I normally go short. Move the aircraft. Give it a second. And then it will say, release your parking brake. Put levers to climb. And it will teleport you to Heathrow. Obviously, it will all have to load in. So it's going to look weird for a minute. There you go, that's Heathrow. Alright, fine, we'll land at Heathrow. God, you guys. No, Brian, I didn't. I just left it. Sometimes, though, it can get a bit confused. Obviously, we're pointing out here and the airport's all the way over here. So sometimes a long final can be advisable, particularly if you're moving across the world using their teleport feature, just so you've got more time to straighten out, because at the moment we're going to be in a bit of a pickle here if we're not careful. It's just so good if you want to just practice landings, because obviously if you're just doing full flights, you might have 2 hours in between a flight and a landing. So actually your ability to put in landings quickly and get better is diminished if you're in cruise for 90% of your simming time. Whereas this allows you to... Come on. Take it from here, thank you. Yes, if we were on a long final, we could have avoided all this snaking so close to the airport. But I think it's just because we've teleported from Greenland to here, it got a little bit like, oh, which I can forgive it for. I've got the 24 version app, Brian, the Pro one. I did buy the standard one. I made a video. I had no idea who the developer was or anything. I just saw the app, made a video, and then JB, the developer, upgraded me to the advanced version. I guess just as a bit of a thank you for making the video, which I wasn't expecting, which is very nice of him. But that does mean I then get the advanced version of 2024, which I believe you do need in order to use the third-party aircraft. But I kind of got grandfathered in for that. It's a bit windy here at Heathrow, isn't it? Blimey. I feel like I need to get rid of that dynamic settings, because look what it's doing to the ground there at Heathrow. It's just like ruining all the ground textures. It's a bit of a mess on the quiet, isn't it?
300.
There you go, 3 whites on the Pappies, and the ILS says we're low. Brilliant. Welcome to Flight Simulator, everyone. Just look out the window, shall we? 4 whites on the Pappies.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 5.
Straighten up. We're down. That was alright, wasn't it? That wasn't too bad. Might even get a YouTube short out of that. There we go. Right, guys, I really do have to go now. Thank you all very much indeed. Thank you to all those that hit the like button, hit the follow. Thank you for getting us over to 25k subs on YouTube today, by the way, and 1,000 subs on Twitch. It's weird that those 2 milestones were hit on the same stream. That is weird to me. Thank you very much indeed for the support, though. Honestly, I couldn't do it without you all. I know I always say it, but it's like, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I really couldn't. So, truly appreciate you all. Thank you to those that became members, gifted members, followed, liked, subscribed, all that good stuff. And I will most likely be back on Thursday, hopefully at a proper time of 9:30 a.m. So thank you all very much indeed. And I will see you soon. Have a good rest of your day. Cheers.